So while we're on the topic of bad basketball play, let's get into some good basketball play, man. Like, I don't want to end it on that note, right? Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, they play great basketball, right? So we go get into some of that. But before we get in there, I want to talk about Gilbert Arenas having a debate with Scap Attack. Shout out to Scap Attack. A lot of people were reacting to a lot of things that were said in that debate, and a lot of people said Scap absolutely eviscerated and cooked Gilbert Arenas. I agree, because when you're coming into there's no way you can't get cooked when you're trying to defend a LeBron over Kobe Bryant as a basketball player take. Like, so you, as soon as you take that stance that, oh, I'm gonna argue for LeBron, you're already cooked. You're already in the frying pan. So even if the cook can't cook, if the chef can't cook, it's still grease in that frying pan, and you decided to get in it. So by default, you're just gonna get cooked. But in this case, it's a good chef. Scap Attack is a very good chef when it comes to having these conversations. I don't even want to call them debates, man, because why would you debate anything about basketball? It's a conversation. I think when people think of it as a debate, they're automatically thinking, I need to win. And no one wants to admit that they're wrong when they're trying to win. So now you get these two people that's just throwing out all these talking points, and the whole time they're both trying to win an argument, and you're really not getting nowhere. You had that same both of y'all go leave that conversation with the same mindset. But if it's two adult people sitting down and talking and be like, you know what, like, let me hear you out. All right, I think that's different. But nonetheless, listen to what Gilbert said.
Well, was he the second? See, was he the second greatest player ever in 2000, 2001, 2002? See, you're using all of his career when I'm talking about just 3 years.
So, but is it your opinion then that Kobe can be the second best player ever, having the 3 rings with Shaq the way he has them? Yes or no?
I have him as the third best player ever. The third best player ever, and he's my favorite player of all time. He's my favorite player of all time. I got
you
married.
Keep saying that, but then you keep having these discussions about
because it's sports. I'm not biased. I got married on 12/12/24. 24, 12 and 12 is 24. And so Kobe. I got married on that date for a reason. I'm a Kobe fan, but I'm just not I love greatness overall. I just love greatness. I like how it thinks. I like how it moves. Right? If I have to pick one in a one-on-one battle, I'm taking Kobe.
Oh,
but was he the second?
Hold on. So look, I'm gonna have to play that again, and I apologize, right? I thought I had the pause on, so I'm gonna have to play it again. But look, listen, Gilbert. So I got this theory in my head where you can kind of notice people will build equity on a certain thing. So whenever they do, all right. So have you ever heard of a person that is discriminative toward a certain race, or bias, or even racist, right? And every time you call them out for doing something that's bias or against a particular race, they point out that their best friend is black, or their wife is black, or something like that, right? Believe it or not, people will have that one black friend just to build equity that they could use whenever someone accused them of doing something biased or racist, right? I'm not racist. My have you seen my best friend? He's black, right? That's what Gilbert's doing now. Gilbert continues to tell people that Kobe is his favorite player so he can build equity. So whenever he goes and just trashes Kobe and prompts LeBron up over Kobe, and someone calls him out on it, he can always go back and say, but Kobe's my favorite player. So I can't be doing this maliciously. I got married on 12/12/24. It's Kobe, baby. It's about Kobe. That's what Gilbert does. He builds equity for this Kobe thing. I'm going to continue to throw dirt on Kobe so I can prop up LeBron, but so it doesn't look bad, I'm always going to have to build some equity for Kobe by saying he's my favorite player and whatever the case may he might be saying. So watch out for that.
See, was he the second greatest player ever in 2000, 2001, 2002? See, you're using all of his career when I'm talking about just 3 years.
So, but is it your opinion then that Kobe can be the second best player ever, having the 3 rings with Shaq the way he has them? Yes or no?
I have him as the third best player ever. The third best player ever. See, and he's my favorite player of all time.
That's the equity.
He's my favorite player of all time. I got married.
You keep saying that, but then you keep having these discussions about
because it's sports. I'm not biased. I got married on 12/12/24. 12 and 12 is 24. And so Kobe, I got married on that date for a reason. I'm a Kobe fan, but I'm just not gonna. I love greatness overall.
What do you mean you're a Kobe fan, but you love greatness overall? What does that mean? What about Kobe ain't greatness?
I just love greatness. I like how it thinks. I like how it moves. Right? If I have to pick one in a one-on-one battle, I'm taking Kobe all day. This is not about, but you still have careers. Okay, Kobe didn't get to finish his career. He started off his career slow.
What do you mean he didn't get to finish his career? Okay, he tore his Achilles and he played his last 2 years have a shell of himself. That don't mean he didn't get to finish his career. What do you mean? He finished it. He scored 60 his last. He walked out fine. Not finishing your career means that your career got cut short and you played. I would say T-Mac didn't finish his career. He had to retire because of injuries, and it was premature. You played 20 years. That's not premature. You finished your career. You played 20. That's finishing your career. Sebastian Telfair didn't get to finish his career. Derrick Rose didn't get to finish his career. But Kobe finished his career. What is Gil talking about? What do you mean he started off slow? He came out of high school and he played for a coach that didn't believe in playing high school kids. He didn't start off slow. He was an all-star his second year in the league. One of the best 6 men that was coming off the bench. He didn't start off slow. He got held back a little bit. He didn't start off slow. What the hell?
Right? And he ended his career on an Achilles. That counts.
What do you mean that count? How does me coming in as a high schooler and Dale Harris not wanting to play me, but somehow I still make all-star in my second year as a 19-year-old coming off the bench? When was the last bench player you seen make all-star? So I made all-star coming off. I made a name for myself. I won the dunk contest as a rookie. I had an Adidas contract. I was on the Tyra Banks show rapping in Italian. Everyone knew my name. Paparazzi took pictures of me all over the place going to the prom with Brandy. How the hell did he start out slow? He was on the bench because the coach didn't believe in high schoolers playing. He didn't start out slow. When he got in the game, we seen how good he was. We seen his preseason game. I did an interview with Corey Blunt. He said that we all knew what he was. He said the first preseason game he seen Kobe Bryant play, he called and told his boys back home, I just seen the next Michael Jordan. What are we talking about? Gilbert, what are we talking about? He didn't start off slow. He didn't. If he would have went to a team that wasn't the Lakers, if he would have went to Charlotte and they threw him in the starting lineup and said, "Hey, here's the keys to the to that luxury car. Drive it however you want to drive it," which is what LeBron did. He went to Cleveland. He had a clean slate. That was like, "Hey, the world is yours, buddy. Make all the mistakes you want. Do what you need to do. Just go out there and score 25. We ain't worrying about winning right now." If he would have did that in Charlotte, it would have been different. He went and was playing behind Eddie Jones and Nick Van Exel and a coach that didn't want to play him, and they, oh, by the way, they had Shaq and it was already a playoff team. What am I going to do with a high schooler? Dale Harris was dumber than rocks to be sitting there looking at Kobe Bryant and say, I don't want to use that. But Jerry West wasn't dumb. He knew. Got Jerry West, got Dale Harris out of there, got Phil Jackson in there, and the rest is history, right? So I don't know what Gil's talking about.
I'm sorry, that counts. So when you put both careers together, I have him jumping. I have LeBron jumping him. I have LeBron at 2. I have Kobe at 3.
I like that. So when you put two careers together, I have LeBron jumping him. Let me decipher that for you. I've already evaluated them as players, and I got Kobe over LeBron as a player. But when you put their careers together, I have LeBron jumping him as the all-time ranking list. And I like the fact that he is adding the resume and the career with the player. So what we're talking about when we say that Kobe's better than LeBron is that we're talking about the player. We're evaluating them as players. Kobe Bryant's obviously a better basketball player than LeBron James. He's the second coming of Michael Jordan. Everyone talks about how close Michael Jordan and Kobe is. I mean, listen to Dunleavy talk about it.
Who do you think is better? But, you know, Michael's Michael. I mean, obviously, you know, in my mind, the best player to ever play. And the most, I mean, other than Michael and then maybe Kobe, the next, like as far as competitors, workers, I mean, both those guys, I don't know how they did it. I mean 5 a.m. in the morning, they're up. I mean, they were, you know, basically from a work ethic standpoint, they were at the top of the list.
So you got Dunleavy Sr. saying that obviously Mike's the GOAT, best player I ever seen play. And he was like, Kobe's right there. I mean, as far as work and grind and all that other stuff, there's nobody like Mike and Kobe. Like, people can't separate Mike and Kobe, not just because Kobe emulated Mike and a lot of his game aesthetically looked like Mike. Nah, everything was like Mike. His drive, his goal to be the best and work to be the best, not just work the media to say you the best like LeBron. Like Kobe actually was like, I want to get in the gym and work on my game so much that it's as good as Mike, or if not better. And LeBron was like, I don't think I can get as good as Mike. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take what I got, and then whatever gaps need to be filled, I just get the media to fill those gaps for me with propaganda. So instead of the conversation being, man, LeBron James is just as crisp as Kobe and Mike. He shoot it well. The form is beautiful. The post game is there. His footwork is there. Instead of him working on all of that and getting his game as crisp as Mike's, he was just like, nah, I'm giving y'all what I got, man. I'm just gonna keep running and jumping and dunking, and I just let the media explain to y'all why I should be in the conversation with Mike. That's basically what LeBron did. So Gil, I don't understand how once you evaluate them as players and you obviously got Kobe over him as a player, then you start getting to the career and you're just saying, because LeBron was healthier longer than Kobe and played longer and accumulated more stats, then that means he had a better career. And you're just ignoring the fact that Kobe got 5 rings. And knowing that debate, his rationale for Kobe's 5 rings versus LeBron's 4, if you count the bubble, 3 of them didn't count because he was a sidekick for Shaq.
Based on what, though?
Based on me.
Based on just longevity stats.
Just everything. Just the game itself, how I played, how we had to guard them. Yes.
So you're okay with hearing Kobe over LeBron, though?
At the end, I don't mind. But think about it. We're both wrong, because when they do a top 75 list, it is considered expert People
No, it's
who
not.
put in all of the information, not
don't
just
even
the
believe
biased information that we want to use. They put in all of the information of someone's legacy, the good, the bad, right? Those are peers, just like court, right? Just like you go to the court, it's a jury of your peers that's judging you. So they put all these people together. These people vote on the list. Now they have Kobe, what, at 10? So our list don't agree with their list, which means if ours don't agree with the ones they call to professionals, then it's just our opinion at that point. It's not a fact. What we're doing, what we're saying, Kobe's 2, you have him 2, I have him 3. That's our opinion at that moment in time. But there is a top 75 list that ranked everybody.
But Gil, I saw you in comments today saying Shaq is better than Kobe. Like Shaq is considered better than Kobe.
In 2000, 2001, 2000.
No, for his career, from a career standpoint.
No, I'm only talking about that time. I know who became the god.
Gilbert, I don't know how he gets away with this on his own show. Nobody really checks him. Nobody really checks him, man. I just say that. Well, Rashad McCants does, but they've already just written Rashad McCants off as the angry black man, almost like a conspiracy theorist, right? Like someone can be telling you the sky is falling and the sky is actually falling, but if you already labeled as a conspiracy theorist, no one would look up, right? They're just gonna be like, he's a conspiracy theorist, man. Don't listen to nothing he says. Sky just falling, right? That's what Gilbert. That's on Gil's arena. That's what Rashad McCants said. He signed so many ridiculous things that when he say things that make sense, and they were, oh man, you just don't like LeBron. They just write off everything he say. And then Brandon Genius is just a shot jock. You never know what he believe. He just be saying stuff just like this dude said Jason Tatum was the softest superstar in history. Lord have mercy. He just be saying stuff, right? And then Kenyon, never mind. But nobody checks Gilbert on this show. So he gets on here with Scap and he's trying to, give you this word salad, and say all these things. And, in certain rooms, he sounds smart. But that was just a word salad. None of that makes sense. None of that makes sense, man. If you want to be real, but let's let Kobe talk. Because I think there's a difference between Mike, Kobe, LeBron, and when they say things and how they talk. I just recently heard LeBron. He was on the Kelsey Brothers podcast. And they asked him, because it's been Ron Artest, Antoine Walker, maybe a couple of other guys have spoken about this infamous game that happened when LeBron was a sophomore or a junior in high school. Where he was like maybe 15 or 16. And he was in this gym. And Michael Jordan was in there. He played with MJ on the same floor. So we've heard Artest talk about it. Artest said LeBron was phenomenal in there. I want to say that was the day that Artest broke Michael Jordan's ribs. And I think Antoine Walker told the story, said LeBron was phenomenal, right? But we've never heard LeBron speak on it. So they asked him about it on the podcast, on the Kelsey Brothers podcast. And he said, he was like, man, so who was guarding you? They was getting it. Did MJ guard you? But they didn't ask that. They was like, who was guarding you in there? And I kind of like LeBron's response, but I'm going to tell you why I kind of don't like it, right? I like that confidence and that arrogance. I like it, right? I particularly like it, though, when it's against your competitors, right? Because now I get the chance to see, like say for instance, if they ask him a question, yeah, so when you was in that gym and there was Harden and KD and Steph and all, like who was winning those pickup games? And for LeBron to be like, hey man, I was dogging them dudes. I love that because guess what I get to see after that? I get to see him and Kevin Durant get on the floor together, and I get to see how that's gonna happen, right? But what I don't like is when you try to puff your chest up like that against an older guy that you're never going to be able to play against and back up what you're saying, right? So and LeBron always gets in trouble right like that because he pays attention to stuff that people say, Kobe, Mike, and all this stuff, and he doesn't have that same type of personality. So when he does it and it's off-putting and it misses the mark and it seems, kind of, I don't know, kind of weird. He don't understand how corny he sound because that's not really his personality. He don't see how, so anyway, long story short, they asked him who was guarding you in those pickups, and his answer was nobody was guarding me. I was unstoppable. I love it though. I love it, but I was like, man, I like that you said it, LeBron, but how are we supposed to know? Like, how can we, come on, man, like, what can we do with that, right? But I love it. But here's the difference, though. You got a legend in Michael Jordan, paying homage to the guys that came before you and paved the way before you is a responsibility of the new generation and the new era of basketball as much as you can. Don't let those names be forgotten, right? We got to keep that going, man. Dr. J is still living with us. He's with us right now. We need to be hearing Dr. J name more often, right? Kareem is still with us. We talked about Kareem a little bit when LeBron passed him up on the scoring list, but ain't nobody talking about Kareem. We need to be celebrating Kareem a little bit more often. We just lost Jerry West. We lost Bill Russell a couple of years ago. Like, you got to pay homage, right? Listen to how Kobe Bryant talked about it when they asked him, are you better than Mike?
Who do you think is better, Michael Jordan or yourself?
No, I mean, I will never say I'm better than Michael because in all honesty, he's taught me so many things by observation and also through conversation. I would never say that. I think it's a bit of an unbalanced comparison too, because when he came in Chicago, he was able to do things individually that I didn't have the freedom to do coming to Los Angeles. So it's our career paths tracked differently. I came in playing a support role with Shaquille, which was like really hard for a person of my personality to do. That would be like asking Michael to do the same thing. It's very hard to do that. So our careers tracked on different paths, man. But I would never ever say that just because I learned so much from him. It's just to non-conversation for me.
I like that because he was able to do two things. He was able to speak up for himself, but he was also able to pay homage and speak the truth on how Michael Jordan has helped him so much. And now that he was done playing, this was after he retired. I don't have that competitive edge no more to be better than Mike and stuff like that. So I don't have to answer the question that way. I can genuinely sit back and be like, look, man, I mean, y'all might have not known this, but I can never say I'm better than Mike because not even before I start asking him so many questions about the game and him giving me so much of the game through his answers. Even before that, I was observing so much of his game and copying his game that way. So he was like, I've gotten so much from Mike. How can I ever say I'm better than him? He said, I would never say I'm better than Mike. And, that was touching to hear Kobe say that because for so long he was chasing Mike and trying to be better than him and trying to reach that pinnacle. But he just admitted I can never say I'm better than Mike. I never will say that. But then he spoke up for himself and said, but if you're comparing us, it's kind of unfair because Mike got to come into his franchise and his team and immediately be the man. And he said, I came into a franchise where I had to play behind Shaq. I was 17. Shaq was already on his second contract, all-star. He was already a top 50 player of all time. They had already put Shaq in that. the most dominant force in the league at that time. He was a grown man. He was in his prime. He said, imagine if a person of my personality, which is very similar to Mike's, imagine if Mike came into a situation where Shaq was on his squad, Mike was 17 and Shaq was 26. Imagine that personality having to take a step back. That's what he's describing, right? So I like that. I like that better than what we get from Brian so many times when they start asking him all these questions and he starts saying all this goofy mess. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. The last thing I'll play though, because we hearing the mentality of Kobe. I want you to hear the mentality of Michael Jordan. A lot of people probably haven't heard this soundbite, but I thought it was interesting enough to play before I end the show. But it was a clip. It was a clip of Michael Jordan getting interviewed after a playoff game where he exploded and hit a lot of threes in that game. So they asked him about it and was like, "Why you don't shoot more threes?" Man, he wanted to give you insight on what his mentality was when it comes to basketball. Listen to what he said about that question.
Well, was he the second?
No, that ain't it.
Wednesday night in game one, Michael Jordan put on a three-point shooting exhibition and a stunning performance, but taking too many threes can hurt his overall performance, according to Michael.
My three-point shooting is something that I don't want to excel at because it takes away from all phases of my game. My game is a fake drive to the hole, penetrate, dish off, dunk, whatever. And when you have that mentality, as I found out in the first game, of making threes, you don't go to the hole as much. You go to the three-point line and you start sitting there waiting for someone to find you. And that's not my mentality. And I don't want to create that because it takes away from my other parts of my game.
He said, I don't shoot threes. I don't want to fall in love with the three. He said, I don't even want the three-point shot as my game to be developed that much. He said, because if I develop too much of that three-point shot, I'm going to lose my edge. Because what I want to do and what my job is and what I think puts more pressure on the defense is when I'm driving to the hole fiercely and finishing at the basket. What that does is that puts pressure on the defense. You got to be on your you got to be ready for that. The rotations got to be there. You got to be willing to give up fouls. If I let you off the hook and I'm as quick as I am as Michael Jordan and I can get to the hole as quick as I can and I can jump as high as I can, if I can do all of those things at Anthony Edwards, why would I want to shoot more threes? Why would I want to shoot 8 threes a game? That's 8 opportunities where I could have got to the hole. Out of those 8, how many of them going to be fouls? How many of them going to be free throws? How many of them going to be dunks or layups? How many of them is going to make the rotation get one of my teammates open? You lose all of that if you take that step back 3. If you got me one-on-one and you take a step back 3, you lose the opportunity of getting fouled. You lose the opportunity of getting to the rim for a layup. You lose the opportunity of drawing a double team so you can kick out. You lose the opportunity to get to the free throw line. Those are crucial. You got 4 quarters in the game, 12-minute quarters. Your opponent, if he's guarding you, he only got 6 fouls. If I shoot 8 threes, that's 8 opportunities I missed to get another foul on my guy that's guarding me. And if I get him in foul trouble early, he's got to guard me different. And in order for him to stay in the game and not foul me, he might have to get help. A double might have to come, and now that's our offense. As soon as I get the ball, the double's coming because he don't want to foul me. Now we can kick out and hit these open players. Or I'm going to foul him out. Or the coach is going to take him out of the game and put a worse defender on me because he was the best defender. Now I got 2-3 fouls on him. Who is teaching them to shoot these threes? Like, the game is all jacked up. Phone lines are open. I'm going to take 1 or 2 phone calls before I get out of here. Zach Lester said, My pops was just saying that today NBA is lazy when you shoot threes and make it so much easier on the other team's defense. 100%. 100%. Hit him made a good point. He said, "You understand, bro? LeBron James has absolutely no honor. He's a snake throwing his teammates under the bus, firing coaches, etc. Bro, you know it, my brother. Facts, true. That's true, man. LeBron James, as much as I like him, and is great. He's been good. He's been good for the league, but he's also been bad and a disgrace. He's been a disgrace." Caller from Minnesota, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, man. Night, Mel.
What's up, brother?
First time call on your show. I've called Sports T before.
What's good, man? What's popping? What's your thoughts?
Man, it's crazy. Like I have to unsubscribe from Gilbert Arena's podcast. That's trash.
Yeah,
I don't understand how he talks like that again. That's why the gods have get rid of him out the league, because he's crazy. What has he done for himself in the league? He keeps icing somebody else up. What has he done? What's the mark he left in the league?
Well, his claim to fame is dropping 50 points on Kobe.
That's one game. What did he won? What's in his cabinet?
He ain't won nothing.
He ain't nobody to be discrediting all these great players, along with crack face JJ Reddick, who looks like his nose is running. Each time he acts like he's this mastermind, like he was just going to go out there with his blueprint and everybody's going to jack up 10 trees per game and they're just going to walk through the league and win. Where? Which league is that going to happen? As tough as it is. You ain't no coach.
You make a good point, though. You make a good point, man. So you unsubscribe from Gil?
Yeah, I don't watch that. I get irritated watching it, and I'm not overreacting. I'm just being honest, man. And listen, I'm a die-hearted fan. Almost 50. I'm a Jamaican, but I live in the States now. And I've been watching the league from the 80s. And to hear him, who I watch, who was Agent Zero, but it's damn right he's zero because he ain't nothing. Man, you're doing a great job. I love your take. I said earlier in the comment, I love your basketball mind. And also, I don't understand how to become a member. I want to become a member of this and Sports T as well. I've called her show before as well.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate the call. So on the homepage for the channel, it should be a join button. And that join button lead you to membership. Let me see what it looks like.
Yeah, man, because you see, your show and her show, because I go to work like 3 p.m. So when I come in the night and roll up, your show and her show.
Yeah, that's my girl. She about to go live.
I don't watch basketball no more.
Yeah,
I just watch highlights.
Yeah. She about to go live pretty soon. I'm about to end mine so she can go ahead and start her live.
Man, I ain't sleeping. I'm going over there.
Yeah, tell her I said what's up when you get over there, man. But let me know if you don't figure out that membership thing. And I probably could give you some better directions on that. But
okay,
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now on the homepage. If you scroll down, it's going to say our members, and there's going to be a join button right beside it.
Okay, I'll go ahead and try to find it right now, man.
Okay,
I love these shows.
All right, man. I appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, man. Enough love, enough respect. Right. Big up, Mel.
Yep, no doubt.
LeBron haters, they can go to sleep. There's no comments right there. there ain't no case. They need to stop. All right, my brother. Enough respect.
Yeah. Take care.
All right.
Yeah. All right, let's get one more call, man. Then we can end it. I think I did see was somebody from Oh, North Carolina. Somebody from North Carolina was calling. Yeah, I'm from North Carolina, man. So you definitely got to call back. You can be the last. You can be the last caller for this episode, man. And I see y'all tomorrow. Oh, I see y'all over there on Sports T in about 5-10 minutes. But I see y'all tomorrow for sure with the full panel. Hey, with that North Carolina number, call back. Going once, going twice. Man, it is interesting you say he'll disgrace the NBA, but when look at MJ and Kobe. Disgrace the NBA, but when look at him, I think that puzzle might be missing a couple of pieces. Yeah, Spurs and what's good? Spurs and that name sound familiar. I'm trying to think. The first time I seen you, was it Sports T or was it it was either Sports T or it was it Simply Ball Drop? What Spurs and where you from? That name sound familiar, but I don't think you originated here. Caller from North Carolina, what's up?
Oh, what's going on, man?
What's
I'm
poppin'?
huge fan of the show, man. Every time y'all on, I'm tuned in. But what I wanted to say was the reason why I think they play the way they do. My theory is the sports betting, because if they all play the same way, then it's easier for them to make the games punctuate the way that they want it to go. So that's why my theory is that it has a little bit to do with that, but it also has to do with the analytics and all that other crap. But I ultimately think when you start to follow that money, you can see they all play the same because they live and die by that three ball. So they can control who's winning these games because all these players just chuck up a bunch of shots.
Yeah. Man.
It's relative to how they play. That's my theory behind it. They make the players play exactly the same, so that way anybody can come up in there and dominate or not dominate. So they just altering the competitive level of the game, because we can see the defense it's non-existent. It don't exist, or the level of toughness on defense doesn't exist how it previously did in other versions of the league. So that's just what I think. And then to touch on the LeBron situation, man, LeBron James just needs to sit back, find a spot on the sideline, and just cheer and be a good supporter of these young guys, because he's in the way. He's in the way of the dudes trying to come up.
He's
like
in the way,
every
bro.
year, the top 10 players, it's a spot saved for LeBron. Like, let somebody else be a good player. There's other good players too, LeBron. Like, it don't just got to be about LeBron 25-8. Like, it's anytime he, just like the other day, man, I'm watching the thing, and the Cleveland Cavaliers doing good. They can't just be good on their own. LeBron got to insert himself in that too.
Facts.
Oh, yeah, I just want the team. I set the legacy. I just want them to keep on continuing. They don't got nothing to do with you, LeBron. You ain't been there for 10 years. You've been gone almost 10 years. And I started the legacy. I just want them to continue. No, LeBron, we know you campaigning to go back to Cleveland in your career. That's what you're doing. You want a soft landing. You don't want to ruffle too many feathers, because you always do that when you leave. So we know LA gonna be burnt to the ground, extra crispy. And then once that's done, because this is LeBron 101. Once it's burnt to the ground, now I'm gonna go ahead and go back to Cleveland, and I'm gonna do my farewell tour. That's what he gonna do. It's predictable. LeBron is the most. That's the reason why he ain't the greatest. He's too predictable. You already know what he's finna do. That's why the team can stop him, because it's not one move that you can tell me that LeBron got that's unstoppable. Tim Duncan had that bank shot. Kareem had that sky hook. Mike had that fadeaway. Every player got that one move. When all this shit don't work, I can go back to this one. And it's unstoppable. It's irrefutable. LeBron James does not have one calling card. And he's been in the league for a dub.
Well,
it's a great career.
He got the fuck you where he look at the ball and then he do it step back.
Oh, the
three.
look away.
Yeah,
I just don't think that's a surefire. It's not unstoppable. Though.
It's not
unstoppable. It's a signature move. I'll give him the credit on that, but it's not unstoppable. A mug ain't gonna guard that. They looking at that like, yeah, please shoot this three, LeBron, so I can get this transition bucket on you because you don't run back on defense like that no more. So, yeah, he's a great player. I will give LeBron his props. The body that he got, he was up top, man up top, blessed him with just a body that's just uncomparable as far as durability, athletic ability. LeBron was blessed with that.
Yeah.
But the spot between your eyes, between your ears, he don't got that mentality to be the best. Because you could have a body, he got the best body. I'll give him that. And I put LeBron one above Karl Malone, man. He ain't better than none of them players. When you sit there and you boil it down, if Karl Malone won 2 rings, he'd be better than LeBron.
He's not better than Duncan for sure.
Oh, no, he's not better than Duncan.
Not better.
I don't even like Tim Duncan. And I kind of did like LeBron at one point, and there is no comparison. Tim Duncan was a killer, and he had walked back with that turtle face. Oh, man, I used to hate that dude. He had no emotion. Man, I couldn't stand Tim Duncan, man. He used to whoop on my team all the time. I said, man, Tim Duncan, he don't get no credit. It's because Tim Duncan don't want the spotlight. He don't want all the attention and admiration that LeBron wants. So that's why Tim Duncan he got his rings and he just chilling.
Yeah.
He know the real. He don't need all the people to speculate. He went out there and whooped on LeBron at 30-something years old. Case closed. How old was LeBron when he lost to Tim Duncan?
Sure.
Tim Duncan was almost 40 years old.
Yeah.
And LeBron couldn't beat him.
Couldn't beat him. Yeah. Facts.
And he would have beat him that other time, but he got too old and he missed that bunny shot. He would have beat LeBron 3 times.
Yeah, and then freaking Ray Allen hit that crazy shot. So I mean, it was a lot that happened.
It was crazy. The fans already was gone out of the stadium, driving away because they knew that it was over.
Yeah,
they knew it was over because you can only do so much when you play the way LeBron plays.
Facts. It's a
he
setback.
Don't got that extra gear.
Yeah, playing that style of play sets you back already, and you have to do overkill to get back even. That's why Golden State was able to beat them so convincingly, because Golden State actually played a phenomenal and sophisticated style of offense, and Cleveland played a very flawed style where only Kyrie and LeBron were the only 2 players able to make a play in that whole offense, right? So it was a flawed style to play in, and that's why it made it look like they were so unevenly matched against Golden State, but they actually was evenly matched.
Yeah. Oh no, they had a better team than Golden State. Them Cleveland teams was better.
Well, that was they was better. They were better before KD got there. When KD got there, they was even.
Oh no, when KD got there, that was just a whole different recipe, man. They was playing with a whole nother set of ingredients when KD got there. That was almost unfair.
Yeah.
It was just like, it was almost unwatchable because it was like, come on, man, y'all got way too much offensive firepower. There's not enough teams that could keep up with you guys offensively. The only ones that could keep up was the Houston teams, but then they kind of depleted on defense because they stacking up on offense. So that was when Golden State had that perfect recipe. They could shut you down on defense, and they could outscore you on offense. So they were pretty much unstoppable. The league had to catch up.
Yeah,
it was just too much on both sides of the floor. Usually a team would be off balance. It's a lot of offense, and then they don't got really too much defense. Golden State had that perfect recipe. They got Draymond kicking dudes in the nuts. Then they got Steph Curry blasting threes. You can't win.
Yep. That's a fact.
That's a tough call.
That's a
fact. You know, I'm confident that if the league stopped focusing on propping up these players and just let one player rise up organically and just consider himself the dog and do it how they used to do, just let the players play, and then eventually one dude is going to stand out above the rest. That's how Jordan got there. That's how Magic got there. That's how all these other players paved their path. But they kind of doing it to where now they handpicking these dudes and they forcing us to like these guys. And it's like, I don't want to watch Wembanyama shoot 9 threes. It's not realistic.
I'm so tired of seeing 7-6 shoot 3. Now it looks good. It looks good. He got a pretty form. I like to see him shoot it effortlessly over people and all that stuff, man. But when you got a clear advantage at 7-6, man, come on, brother. It's basketball.
Well, it must not be that clear of an advantage because they don't stick his butt down there on that low block and have him bang out on that low block. Because I tell you this much. If you go down there and you do 10 plays of low post defense in a row, your legs is not available for 10 threes. I'm sorry. You're not going to be able to run and shoot them threes like you do and all this stuff. And it's cool because we've never seen it. And it's exciting to the casual fan. But we hardcore analysts, you know, we analytical. We students of the game. We didn't try to play. You know what I mean? So we know that this is not real.
Yeah,
you can convince somebody who's 2 years old who's never seen the ball dribble before and say, "Here, look, watch this," and they go, "Ooh, this is cool." But when you've been watching the game as many years as everybody else has, and you're a student in the game and you done studied this, you're like, "Come on, man." The time that it takes for Wembanyama to dribble the damn ball on the ground and for it to come back up, if somebody ain't stealing that basketball from him, something's wrong.
Yeah, facts.
It's not even realistic for a dude his size to be dribbling like that.
No, it's not.
The physics of the game. It takes 11 seconds for that ball to catch his hand.
Look,
and touch the ground.
Glad you got the skill. I'm glad you can do it. I want to see it every now and then, but hey,
every now and then.
But get your butt on that. Get your butt on that block, man. We don't.
Exactly.
Yeah,
don't be out here shooting every 5 seconds just because you can.
It's actually bad basketball. But look, I got to get out of here, brother. I wanted to get out of here before 2 hours and 30 minutes, and I'm almost there.
You good, man. You
good. What's your name, though, man? You from North Carolina? Who?
I'm Trent. Yeah, I was out there in Raleigh. I live in Arizona now, but yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Got it.
Shout out to the Cackalack, man. I missed it out there.
I just came back from there, man. It snowed out there.
Oh, you was up north?
No, I was in North Carolina. Yeah, I was in North Carolina after the New Year's. I just got back a couple of days ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, man, I'm tapped in. I'm gonna eventually join this little membership thing. I don't know how to get on it, but